Hello, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good day to all. I am Ahmad Qayyum Fikri bin Ahmad Jazimin. You can call me Qayyum, with metric number of 200,359. Alright, so today let's get to the question. So today I will presenting about my assignment, which is tutorial 1, question number 20 in ECC3120 signal system. Let's get to it. So the question is, for each of the following signals, sketch the graph, decide whether it is a periodic, and if it is, determine its period. So I'm doing number 20, so it is question 3B. Alright, so before we go to the question, to the answer, here is some tips. So the first one is we need to determine the amplitude. So which is the amplitude inside this equation 3B? So the amplitude is right here, 40. Alright. So when we graph the sinusoidal, the cosine graph function, so we can actually draw the value of 40 on top and the bottom. But hey, we need also to determine the period. So this is the second point, determine the period. Why? Because we want to determine how many period will the graph go, what is the interval, what is the value of the interval. Alright, so tips number 3, determine the value of C. Why this is also important? Because, alright, so just now I'm saying that the amplitude is important for measuring the maximum and the minimum value of the graph. But then if we have the value of C inside our equation, we need to modify it. In this case, the maximum value of the graph is 40 on the top there. But then when there is a value of C which is 14, we need to add 40 plus 14 on the maximum on the top, and we need to subtract 14, subtract 40 on the bottom, we get negative 26. So we will get to it after this. So let's go. This is the question. GT is equal to 14 plus 40 cos 60 pi t. Alright, what is the difference between 3A and 3B? On question 3A, it doesn't have the value of C, so we can just straightforward sketch the graph, just like just sketch the sinusoidal graph function, the sine function graph. But on 3B we have the value of C. So yeah, let's see the graph, how the graph looks like. So this is the graph. So we have few points here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to explain the first point here. Oh, by the way, this is the cosine graph. This is the shape of the cosine graph. It's like that. If the sine graph, it goes like this. Yeah, this we need to remember the properties of the graph shape. Alright, so here 0.54. Why the value is 0.54? So here we can see the value of 0 is indicating the value of x axis is on 0, and 54 is actually the value of the amplitude. Why the value of the amplitude here? Why it is 54 here? Why it is not 40 right here? Because we have the value of 14 here, so we need to shift 40 plus 14, we get 54 here, and on the bottom here 0, negative 26 is also the same. 14 minus 40, we get negative 26. Yeah, originally if we don't have 14 here, here is 0, 40, and here is 0, negative 40. But we have 14, we need to change these 2 points. Alright, let's see here. Why I go to this point first instead of this one? It is because I want to tell that this is the 1 cycle, 2 pi cycle of the graph. the complete cycle 360 degree. So here it is 1 over 30 and 54. So we get 54 from here. And where does this value comes from? 1 over 30. Alright, we will get to it after this. Here it is 1 over 60. Why it is 1 over 60 right here? This is actually 180 degree right here. So we just divided by 2 and we get here 1 over 60. And here is negative 26. It's the same thing. We get the value from here, and here is also the same, negative 26. Here is also negative 1 over 60. We get it from here. Yeah, it's the same. The same right and left is actually it's the same because this is the periodic function. Alright, so what the question asks now? Determine whether it is a periodic or not. So this graph is a periodic. So the question say if we know that the graph is a periodic, so we can determine the value of t. So here the value of t is equal to 2 pi over w omega naught. Alright, omega naught is the value here. Alright, we plug it in 2 pi over 60 pi. We just put it like that, and we get the value of 1 over 30 seconds. So yeah, that's how we get the value here, 1 over 30. It is from here. Alright, so how about this one? Yeah, we just divided by 2 though, because we assume that this is pi over 60 pi, and yeah, we just do it like that. So 1 over 60 pi, yeah, 1 over 60 if we cancel out the pi. Alright, so yeah, 33.33 milliseconds. So yeah, I think for the graph, that's all that I want to share today. And if you have any question, you can chat on the chat box below. And that's all from me. Before I go, I have a quote. Happiness can be found in the darkest of times if one only remembers to turn on the delight. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Yeah, that's all from me today. Thank you and have a nice day. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye bye.